Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da. See it. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday, work it out Wednesday, pay it forward Friday, we're seizing the day. Digital finance, unlearning a love, serving food for what those told. Rising as the beat and it's Eastern on P2G TV. Breakfast with the Thomases, come eat with me.
All right. Technical difficulties, to say the least, y'all. To say the least, Grand Rising family. Y'all got to give me a second, cause I don't know what just happened.
Okay.
Grand Rising. Oh, go ahead, Mr. Thomas. You get it popping. I'm just gonna go straighten it out for some of our other viewers. Okay.
Not a problem. Grand Rising. Welcome to a Pay It Forward Friday. And I'm one of your hosts, Alvin Thomas, the Gold Banker, coming to you live 1 gram at a time. And, you know, I'm going to tell you, like I've been saying for a little while, and we've been saying, gold is a store of wealth, and it's becoming more and more prevalent, whether you realize it or not. If you're a market watcher or, you know, you just listen to what's being said on these different programs. Today we have a conversation coming from Taylor Kinney from ITM Trading. I want you to remember one thing in this conversation. The treasurer is the buyer of last resorts. The only difference is it's now becoming the buyer of first resorts. And that is a clue for you guys to start taking heed and making moves to align yourself with the way of the shift. You know, don't be the last one to get your bucket to fill it up. Don't be the last one to fill your bucket. Start watching, start listening, ask some questions. And, you know, like I said, we're here with ITM Trading today, and we got a great one for you. So like I tell you every day, grab a pen, grab a piece of paper, and make this your own. All right. Rue, you ready to go? You want to say hello before we get it in the game?
Yeah, I just want to put out a disclaimer to everybody. This month is Making Month. This is month, and I know it says you think it was Making Month May, but no, you're in Making Month June. You're in that 6th month where we are going hard, and we are actually already on it, and we're helping families who want to help themselves. So if you one of them, you kind of people that you really want to help yourself, y'all need to lock in right now because we're moving. We have the vehicle, we have the time, and we've got all the resources that we need to get. But you're missing something, and we missing you. If you've decided that you're who we're missing, get on this. You have to pay attention to this part to understand the next part. Make sense?
Absolutely.
So let's get it popping. All right. Uh-oh. It's not showing for me. Al, you there? Hey, got a good question. Now you're frozen. Guys, y'all got to forgive us because I have absolutely no clue what's happening today with technology. But you know, we going to get it done. We always get it done. Mr. Thomas seems to be a little gone right now, and I'm trying to pull up his share, but it's not rolling. All right, since that's the case, I'm going to do it myself. I know. I was like, wow. So I'm going to remove this one. Let me see. We may have to bring it in again. One of the things I try to let folks know, there is no such thing as dead air. So one of the biggest problems that we have in our community is lack of knowledge. And when we get it, our next thing is lack of hope and faith. Now, when someone tells you something, what do you do with it? Do you believe them? Do you research them? Do you research what they've shared? We have to start asking those questions. Because when I tell you first off, do not believe a word I say. And the reason we say this to you is so that you get the facts for yourself. One of the biggest problems in our community, like I said, we start with lack of knowledge. Then when we get some, lack of faith, so we don't move. And then we find out, we discover we're too late. We're always complaining about being the last one. You were never held back. And I need to point this out, say this, and be very clear. You were never held back. Those days became over a long time. The days when our community was suppressed and knowledge was suppressed for our community, sorry, don't have that as an excuse anymore, because you have full information. And I hate to say it, that was the other trick that was played. Giving you full information and full access to everything was another trick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this with you. Okay? You don't have any tricks?
For years, we've been told that...
Hold on a second. Thank you, Miss Taylor Kinney. But in the meantime, what we're going to do now is we're going to get you in this space. So watch the video and let's have a conversation as a community of thinkers. Peace and love. Let's go. Here she go.
U.S. Treasuries are the safest asset in the world. After all, they are the foundation of the global monetary system, which is why what happened this week shouldn't be possible. At least, not according to the rules of the financial system that we've all lived under for the last 80 years. Because the very institutions that are supposed to trust treasuries the most are choosing something else. And if you've been following central bank behavior for the last few years, the clues are everywhere. Thousands of tons in physical gold purchases, falling U.S. Treasury demand, and new payment structure that cuts out the dollar completely. But now, this week, the ECB, the European Central Bank, finally confirmed what we've been reporting on for months. For the first time in 30 years, gold has overtaken U.S. Treasuries as the largest reserve asset. Now, most people will hear this headline and assume it's just a story about gold prices. After all, gold has doubled in the last 2 years, but the real story is far bigger. Because you have to ask yourself, if the very institutions that are responsible for creating the currency and managing reserves are choosing gold over the asset that the entire current monetary system is based on, what do they know that we don't, and what exactly are they preparing for? But to answer this question, we first have to understand why U.S. Treasuries are so dominant and what has changed. See, for the last 80 years, there wasn't a serious alternative. The modern global financial system was built around the dollar. Countries accumulated dollars through trade, and oil was priced primarily in dollars, which created a self-reinforcing loop. The more the world used dollars, the more treasuries they held, and the more central the dollar became to the system, reinforcing the dollar as the global reserve asset, and U.S. Treasuries not just as an asset, but as the reserve asset. Which is why what's happening today is so unusual. See, on paper, there's no denying that the dollar is still dominant and that U.S. Treasuries are largely considered the largest and most liquid option available. But central banks have continued to choose gold over treasuries. So if U.S. Treasuries are so deeply embedded in the system, what exactly changed? For years, U.S. Treasuries have been growing less attractive as a reserve asset for a number of reasons. First, being a stealth default. Now, different from an outright default where the U.S. breaks its promise and doesn't repay its debt tomorrow, a stealth default happens when the math no longer makes sense, when the debt is growing faster than the economy and questions start being asked. Say you're an investor and you have U.S. Treasuries that are yielding 2 or 3%. That's the interest you're getting. But as the debt continues to grow and inflation is running at 4 or 5%, you might get paid back your investment in nominal terms, but in real terms, you're taking a loss. Now, countries used to stomach this loss because, again, they were the most liquid, the largest, and the safest at one point. But as concerns and questions started to brew, the next clue that something was changing showed up in the gold market itself. For years, central bank gold purchases were relatively modest. But in 2022, something changed. Central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold. And they did it again in 2023, 2024, the most gold purchased on record in modern history. But what makes this so interesting is that the system was still running. The dollar was still king. So what did central banks understand, or what changed for central banks in 2022? When you think about America's power, what comes to mind? For many, it's guns, missiles, tanks. But what if I told you that the most powerful weapon that the United States has is actually the dollar? A silent, invisible weapon that can be used against almost every person on Earth in the blink of an eye. In February of 2022, the US and its allies enacted sanctions against Russia following the invasion of Ukraine, freezing and seizing hundreds of billions of dollars of central bank reserves with the flip of a switch. For the first time, the US froze Russia's central bank reserves. Now, imagine it like this: the difference between someone refusing to pay you money owed or refusing to give you back money they were holding for you, which is bad enough. But this time, they go into your bank account, into your home, and take your entire life's savings. That's what this was. And the message it sent to every other central bank was clear. Your reserves are not really yours. They're not really neutral. In fact, they can be taken from you like that if Uncle Sam disagrees with you. See, by the time Russia's reserves were frozen, central banks had already been questioning the US's credibility and whether it made sense to keep loading up on sovereign debt when clearly the entire global economy was suffering from a massive debt problem, rising inflation, and increasingly low returns that no longer made sense for the risk. In other words, the foundation of the entire global monetary system as we know it had been cracking for a while. But the last 3 to 4 years was like pouring gasoline on a fire. But the question remains, why then did all of these central banks, as they started moving away from sovereign debt, decide to move into one asset, overwhelmingly into one asset? It's not because they sat around in a room and all decided that they were going to move into gold. No, it's got to be something bigger. Now, some will say, oh, it's because gold is a hedge against uncertainty, which it always has been, but that's not quite it. Others will say, oh, it's because of gold's rally or the FOMO. But that doesn't make sense either when you really look at their buying patterns. See, central banks were buying gold like it was cheap when it was at all-time highs, and they have continued to buy even during the pullback. So it's not just about price. What it really comes down to is that central banks are positioning. They are positioning for the long game because gold is one of the only assets in the world that does not carry counterparty risk. What I mean by that is US treasuries or anything else that exists within the framework of our current monetary system is always reliant on someone else's promises, policies. You have to rely on another party. That's where the counterparty risk comes into play. Whereas gold, physical gold, if you have it in your reserves, if you have it in your possession, this goes for both central banks and individuals, then you truly own it outright and it is not reliant on any other entity. Having an asset outside of the framework becomes increasingly important when the entire financial framework itself is cracking. See, if you zoom out today and look at the entire monetary system, you'll realize that it is all based around debt, leverages, promises. It's one big interconnected web where central banks are now increasingly going to have to choose between system stability and currency stability. If you go back in time and look at every fiat currency that's no longer with us, which is every single fiat currency that we don't have today, they all have failed, meaning they have all returned to their intrinsic value, which is zero. And if you study all of those failed currencies throughout time, what is it that each government always returns to as the currency is failing? The answer is the same each and every time. It is always physical gold. This report that the ECB just released, the significance isn't just that gold is the number one. The significance is what fell to second place, US treasuries, because countries around the world, each and every one of them, is exposed to US treasuries and the dollar. Now, I'm not saying that the dollar is going to collapse tomorrow, but I am saying that central banks are clearly positioning for a new system where the dollar is not the foundation of it. And as this shift away from US Treasuries continues to increase, the effects will be felt everywhere. Borrowing costs that impact debt sustainability that impacts the currency, meaning that if we continue to print and we have less buyers, meaning the interest rates are going to be higher on the debt, what is going to happen to each and every single dollar and dollar associated asset out there? They are going to lose value. And this is going to impact each and every person. Now, everyone in the United States is absolutely going to feel this, but I get asked all the time from clients, well, what about Canada? What about over here? What about this other fiat currency? Is it safer than the dollar? And my answer is truly that when you think about how interconnected everything is, and again, if you're within this framework, a dollar framework that the entire world lives in, central banks are making it very clear they're not loading up on a different fiat currency. They're not switching gears to some other new global reserve currency. They are returning to the one asset that exists outside of that framework and has for thousands of years, physical gold. The rules are changing. And if you look at, let's say, the developments that China's doing with the gold corridor and creating the ability to settle payments in gold, supporting gold infrastructure, and establishing themselves as the center of physical gold and silver for the future, we don't know exactly what the new monetary system will look like, but it is clear that gold is going to play a massive role. Now, when I look at all of this together, the case against the dollar and the case for gold has never been clearer. I'm not listening to what those at the top are telling me. I am watching what they're doing. And again, if those who are responsible for creating the currency are moving as fast as they can into physical gold, that tells me all I need to know about where I should be positioned for what's coming next. And if you don't already have your physical gold and silver strategy in place, now is the time to do it. Because as we continue to progress through this reset, it is going to become increasingly price prohibitive to transfer your wealth from fiat currency, from dollars, or whatever other fiat currency you have, into physical gold. Now, we at ITM Trading, we are a full service physical gold and silver dealer. That's what we do. We sell gold and silver, but we are so much more than that. We help create custom strategies for our clients that are tailored specifically to all of this history that we study. It's all patterns throughout history. And if you understand what's happened before, you understand what's happening today, then you can prepare for what's coming next.
With that, we want to come back and say thank you so much for ITM Trading.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Gosh, we've got so many people over at ITM Trading who have been putting out information. That's a mouthful, and that's a great conversation starter for our community. Okay, I need you guys to realize that our community, we don't have these conversations, and if you do, you're probably not in our community. At this point, our personal community has changed because we are having conversations about assets and gold and physical over digital, physical over paper promises, and do we know what we have? So when we meet up, we tend to come in and share with each other different information that each person has, and then we get into how to build finances together, how to as a community, how to really put things in motion, and then we get started. So I always tell you guys, you got to understand the problem before you can start going out there looking for some more. We always want more, but we don't know what the issue is, and we don't know that we have to solve issues or solve problems in the world in order for us to build up and go somewhere. I hope that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. One of the concerns that I see come across a lot of times is trust. Trust, not even trust in what's going on. Trust of you for your own self. You don't know anything more than what you've been doing for years. And the idea that you're hearing, things are changing.
Yeah.
That means you have to move something that you've been doing for umpteen years. And it's the way you've done it, it's the way you're comfortable doing it. realize that anytime wealth is created, there's going to be two things that occur: a disconnect between what you know and what is, and where you end up at from where you started. And all those things relate to digital financial literacy. No matter how you look, you have to understand how money is moving and how you operate with what you have. You know, a lot of things occur when shifts happen. You earlier, Taylor Kinney made it perfectly clear that she said every fiat currency that has ever disappeared returned to its intrinsic value. If it's the intrinsic value is zero and you're holding fiat currency in your 401s, IRAs, EFTs, the intrinsic value will go back to what the intrinsic value is.
A zero stacked on top of zeros is still zero. Y'all know that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I just want to let you know, because and I, you know, it was so funny because I asked Mr. Thomas. I said, "So y'all think the dollar is gonna go somewhere?" No, it's not. It's not gonna go anywhere. Just to let you know, it's gonna get to be this frivolous thing. But you have to, and I get this from a lot of people who have finances. They have a lot of finances rolling through their life, and they go, "The dollar's not going anywhere. How will you value gold and silver?" Tell me how. For those physical assets, you need some sort of mathematical equate a mathematical numeration. Bottom line, you need numeration to value something.
Absolutely.
Correct? Actually, that's not the case. And I love to tell people this. Because therefore we had a numeration of valuation, meaning the way to value something in numbers. We valued it in products. We valued it in weight against
tradability.
Right. Item. It was called bartering at the time. Before we used the word buy, we bartered. And we even bartered with silver and gold and coppers. So the system has existed. A gram of gold can be worth a refrigerator worth of food. You know what I'm saying?
It's still a number. A number still got to be created.
It still has a value to someone. See, that's what we get confused. We get confused value and price. They are two different things.
True. I can definitely say that, yes.
Now, what we want to do is we got to start stepping forward. So we don't ever just throw the problem at you. I want to put up some things. When they're talking about, Al, you and I got into this, and I want you to see, because I always tell you I could show y'all better than I could tell you. Do you know the difference between a bank bond and a treasury bond?
Yes.
Do you know the difference of what they're really talking about? Well, do you know what I enjoy? I enjoy ChatGPT. I love my ChatGPT. The first thing is I came in on a conversation, someone else's stream, their show on YouTube, and he was talking about treasury bonds, and he said, and I'm like, oh Lord, here we go. He's like, see, when you say bonds, you need to buy bonds. I was like, wait a minute, with the treasury bonds, the bonds are different. We're always hearing the word bonds. We do not think. Most of y'all have savings bonds, but how many of y'all have treasury bonds? Do you know the difference? Do you know that a bond is not a bond is a bond? Y'all hear that? Mm-hmm. All bonds are not the same. So when you hear it, you got to ask a person, which one are you talking about? And this is where I actually I do research. I teach digital financial literacy. I teach the digital financial literacy. And one of our major learning processes is research. Mm-hmm. So I take my students into class. I love this. I love what we do.
I got to say, when we got into that bit of a tiff the other day, it made me go back and look because, I'm thinking about it. I'm a big movie head, and I like cop drama. And I'm sitting there listening to what she said to me about, do you know the difference between bonds and bonds? Every time there's a major heist or something that goes wrong, the only thing they say is treasury bonds. They don't say I'm going for bonds. They're going for treasury bonds. And why is that?
So let me talk to you. Did you know that most of y'all go to your bank to get a bond, right? We remember when we were kids, my dad, we had bonds. We had actually savings bonds. Savings bonds and treasury bonds are not the same. A lot of y'all think you're getting treasury bonds when you're getting bank bonds, and they're very, very different. You can get corporate bonds, you can get bank bonds, you can actually get many different types of bonds, sweetie. But the difference is you can log into the Treasury Direct and get their bonds. The Treasury Direct, what is the Treasury?
I got a question for you.
It's a big old bank.
You're saying this, and this is a good question because I noticed, and I've heard this come up a couple times. Do individuals have to be an accredited purchaser to get a treasury bond?
No, you can buy them. And the Treasury themselves have savings bonds. They have treasury. We have Treasury market securities, auctions. Come on, somebody! I'm on Treasury Direct. What would be under auctions? So they have assets, right? They teach you laws and regulations right on their site. Research. They have a research center, and government users locate a site. So even governments, government users, their employees can use this site as well. We have to be in a conversation, people, for knowing what we want to be into, knowing what's malleable. Okay, now malleable.
I got you.
Hold on. So if you like that share, let me just bring that down. So if you like that share, you're gonna love this one, because I decided I wanted to get some more in depth. Today, I just got into my research. I almost didn't get in here on time because I wanted to find out what's the difference. And today we have some amazing tools that can help us do great comparisons. So let's take a look. Because I teach digital financial literacy, I'm always going to be curious about some stuff. So if you know the right question to ask, ain't it crazy that you could just ask the right question and get, hold on a second, I need to get something down before I put something up.
Okay, go ahead. What would you? Now, I want you guys, remember I told you guys, I shared with you guys, grab a pen and paper. There's something called Treasury Direct. That's the first note you might want to put in there. Treasury Direct.
Either that or rerun this show, baby. Let me get it on. Let's get it on. Now we're going to get into the work of it. We're going to get into the homework of it. When I tell you do your homework, I'm going to give you real tools. I'm going to give you an idea of where you want to go to get what you need to get. Because if you want to know where, Miss Ruby, find that out. I took my question to ChatGPT. I put in ChatGPT, which, by the way, is free. What are the differences between bank bonds, treasury, and treasury bonds? Side-by-side view, because I wanted to see how they compared. So it says below is a side-by-side view of the differences between banks, bonds, and treasury bonds. Wow. It gave me categories, who issues it, what it is, risk levels, safety, interest rates. Hello.
Very important, interest rates.
Hello. Length of time. Got it? Insurance protection. Whoo, I love it. It says backed by the full faith and credit of the United States government. Y'all know the safer it is, the less you're going to get in interest. Just be on alert about that. The game is you're going to play it safe. You're going to get a little less. All right. So taxes, best for, main dangers. Okay. What are the risks? Okay. What are the risks? Examples at the bottom. Then we break it down. Simple breakdowns. Y'all see this? A bond is like saying, a bank bond is like saying, I trust the bank enough to lend it money. I trust the bank enough to lend it money.
That's funny how you gave them money already as a loan.
That's not the same. We always assume because you put your money in the bank that that's a loan. No, that's custody. That's like giving your child. You don't lend your other parent your child. You hand them custody. You have to know the difference if you want to benefit. Now, a treasury bond, the U.S. government, it says that's like saying I trust the U.S. government enough to lend it money. That's how bonds work on those two levels. Okay, So treasury bonds are, so key takeaways. Treasury bonds are generally safer. Bank bonds usually offer higher interest because they carry more risk. Now, we went there and I took it even further. I decided I want to find out because I'm in the business of making money. Make me money. Right?
Okay, what we got? What do we got?
Educating. So of course I wanted to know, can we use them as collateral? Come on, somebody. If you're gonna play the paper game, because a lot of y'all think that crypto is whatever. You don't know, so you just assume and you cut yourself out of a multi-billion-dollar game. Actually, a multi-trillion-dollar game that anyone can start. So if you're gonna cut yourself out, do you even know how to play the paper game right? Come on. Let's get it.
Shoot,
So I asked the right question, I got the right answers. And so I found out, they ain't even just talking about the banks. They talking about treasury bonds. We're talking about treasury bonds held in the brokerage, treasury bond held in the treasury direct. We have bank bonds, corporate bonds, savings bonds, bond fund, ETFs. So there's a lot of different bonds, ain't there? And to give you the best answer, treasury bonds are generally better collateral than bank bonds because lenders usually see them as safer, easier to value, and easier to sell if a loan defaults. Now, here we go. Come on, somebody. How you can borrow. Now, we're teaching this on the crypto side, but this is a strategy process. If you get it, and you can use it. So here we go. $10,000, this is the example. $10,000 treasury bond will usually be the lender will advance the rate between 80 and 95%. So for that $10,000 loan, you can get between $8 and $99.5 thousand on that loan. Bank loans. Banks are a little more risky. So your same 10,000 bank bond might get you 50% to 80%. So 5,000 to 8,000. What you going for? And people go, why I'm a borrow against? Did you know that loans are tax-free? That's tax-free money that you still earning interest on. So when we talk about the leverage game, let's talk about the leverage game. Let's get back in. See, because y'all just got a masterclass and you didn't even know it. Y'all just got a masterclass. I want you to imagine taking any one of your bills and doing just that and paying the bill, earning interest. The same amount of money, you just earn interest. You just watched us do the process of turning $10,000 into anywhere from 15,000. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's add it up. $10,000 to 15,000 or 19,500. Why did I say that? Because the original amount of money was still earning interest in the treasury bond or the bank bond. It's time for y'all to start thinking about money in a different way. We do that with pennies. We do that with $100. We do that with our regular savings every time we save. So the wealthy don't have anything on y'all except some new habits and systems and ways of thinking. You become the wealthy when you think like them, correct?
Absolutely.
I just want to know. If you had the same mindset, the same skill, the same game plan as a very wealthy person, would that not make you wealthy as well? See, those are the questions you got to answer. It's time to shift the game. You need to come to class. You need to find a community that is not only speaking that way, but moving in that generation. We have so much going on. I'm really excited. So don't mind me. I have to look, I got to teach. It's what I do. It's what I do. You're going to always come here. This is Pay It Forward Friday. So know that when you come into our platform, you're going to leave with something in your head and that you can put into your hands. Mr. Thomas, what you over there fidgeting with?
because I'm sitting there, I'm in the conversation with you, and I'm sitting, and you're talking about collateral, and I just came across some news the other day.
Uh-huh.
I want to put it up, but it's not. I don't have the definitive of it yet. But I want you. There was a conversation on CNBC yesterday about Trump, the Winklevoss, and the USD1 coin, which is Liberty Financial, which is owned by the Trumps. They had a whole conversation of it being $1.5 billion in stable assets that's being used to stabilize funds in the Treasury market. Now, the only question is, and they won't say because I've been looking for a couple of days, whether it's Treasury, the U.S. Treasuries they're backing, or the USD1 backing banks, so they consider solid out before a bank buy in or a bank buy out. So that's the I'm trying to find it.
Mr. Thomas, I want you to stop having so much to say and give us an explanation.
Okay.
Because we don't understand. Look, we don't understand here in the peanut gallery, right, y'all? Break it down. Let
me break it down to you this way. For back in 80, let's go. It's been going on since let's keep it 2020. They were talking about bringing CBDCs into the market. CBDCs are central digital currency.
Digital currency.
Thank you.
There you go.
And they wanted to use that as the way to have a universal currency. So it's been bouncing across the table for a couple of years. Now they're looking to bring it back under, but they needed a stable coin to back it. They needed a stable coin. So Trump, his son, and his nephew created World Liberty Financial Group, who also did a partnership with the Winklevoss brothers, who the ones who own Binance, and they created this coin. And now it's on the table as an actual asset to be used as a stable coin to back the U.S. dollar. And they're trying to prevent Trump because they said Trump did insider trading because he's on the board, his son and his nephew who created the coin with the other party. So this is the conversation. This is the research I'm going into. You can do your own research. There's a lot of information on YouTube, CNBC, Yahoo Financial. Go do the research. And it's there for you. The coin is USD1, and the ticker letters is WLFI. You can do all that yourself. So go take a look. But what that means to you, let me bring it down to the baseline. What that means to you, all stable coin that will be back in the dollar, maybe this coin. Do you have any to run or work to support your position? Because, like they said, as we go along, it'll be harder to transfer out a fiat currency to any other form of collateral that is non-counterparty risk.
Come on now.
Is that a lot? I'm sorry, that was a mouthful to put in, but I want you guys to really be aware of what's going on and not be waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Ooh, I can't find CBDCs anymore on the website. I can't find CBDCs anymore.
I wonder why.
I'll see if I checked on Fed.gov, and this was all on there, y'all. Are they allowed to hide things from us? Is the United States government allowed to hide things from us?
They're not allowed to hide it, but doesn't mean they have to put it in plain sight either.
Exactly. We have got to start realizing that there are rules that exist. So everything that is that is in the agenda to do and have to come about has to be documented. It has to have a place it lived in the United States website.
Yes. And
so my question to you all is, what happens when things start disappearing? I have shows where we showed it. I have proof. I tell everybody right now, I got proof. We do these shows and they're up on YouTube. They've been shared and copied. around the world, from what I've learned, and I started looking at folks in demographics that watch our replays. We have people that view Breakfast with the Thomases in other countries. Literally, and I mean, we have literally an Asian market. We actually have we have several countries in Africa. We have a European market that is actually quite spotty, but I was just shocked to see that someone would be interested in seeing our show in the around the world. Most folks don't realize all of these countries all have the same, we all got the same problem.
Yep. Central banks.
Dollar. US dollar. Central banks in the US dollar. So when we are saying applies to everyone in all of those countries, but what I love is that we get to create resolutions. And so I'm going to bring you to a couple of things. Y'all know we be out here on these streets in New York and Harlem.
Grand Rising, Brother C.
Every year. Okay. Every year we do the event for the Warm We All Really Matter program, where they do Love on the Block. I love it. And this is where we'll be this week on Saturday. June 6th, Saturday, between 12 and 5, P2G will be hitting the streets with the Warm organization and many other organizations and donating government factions that have come together to create for this event the public safety event, where you'll be able to have your kids. We have programs that will run for the day, music, dancing, and yes, I love it. We be out on the streets dancing to this. We got badass DJs that come through, and they come in and they really play on the streets, and we got all kinds, house music. But wait, your children, there's rides, there's games, and yes, these guys do rides, games. We have the wall climbing that the NYPD usually brings them out. The PAL brings out the wall climbing. We have, of course, the bouncy houses and cotton candy. I never get the icy. That line is too long. The free icy, you know what I'm saying? The popcorn. They have the barbecue. They do the whole barbecue. They're also giving out every year. They give out groceries. We get donations, and I can't say we, but they get donations. And I love to bring people to it. So if you know folks that are still in Harlem, I don't care if you're coming down from the Bronx, the organization is nationwide. WARM is which stands for We All Really Matter.
Yes.
It's a anti-domestic violence organization that has been helping people for well over almost 2 decades. I'm so excited to say this. It's sad how these programs have to come about, but it is so important to keep them going. We've seen our governments strip our programs, strip funding from programs, and make it so that endowments and different kind of private companies that need to step in, and they do that only most of the time they do that because they get a tax break. Well, those things are drying up around the world. So when we still get a chance to do this, and like I said, there's a clothing drive where they'll be giving out clothing to the community. They do it every time. So for mothers and kids and fathers, they have not stopped running their programs. Their domestic violence, their emergency response program works with the police department. Did you all know there was no response after the police remove a family to safety? There was nowhere to take them at one point. This young lady you guys are all going to meet there I just want to share with you. Come and meet Miss Stephanie. Because the work that she has done has spread, and now she is actually connected with other organizations that have come together for healing and recovery through coaching and development through new skills. Now, I love this. Okay. Y'all know all about this because our community has to heal from poverty. Did you know that poverty is a form of what is it? It's considered a form of domestic it's not domestic violence. It's a form of distress. It's a form of mental, emotional, and physical distress. Poverty is actually quite a sin. And when they say it's a sin, it's because it causes the human being to degrade. But do you know poverty is an option?
That is true.
It's an option for every one of us. We've now we've come closer to the age where we can change all of that through generations for ourselves and even our families. With new information. We have so much exposure that we have to start focusing. Now, what we got to do is stop distractions. So I say, come on out. We have our small part that we play. I say a small part, but I ain't gonna lie, because we bring the games. We bring an actual crypto game where we introduce the education to the people, but we bring prizes, we bring physical fun, and I think we're just gonna do I like the rolling of the dice. I really enjoy that, so I want to keep it. And we were gonna do a wheel this time, and it's just so much fun. But I love the way everyone lights up when we're trying to figure out answers to cryptocurrency, what's going on. You should see people pulling out their phones. And I'm like, you got time. It's like we got a time frame. No. You got a couple of minutes, no phones. No lifelines. You know what I'm saying? And we're just out there having fun.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to realize it's time. So if you want to
come, it's like a whole game show and we're out there playing that game.
Exactly. So if you want to come and meet P2G on the streets, we'll be out there on 115th Street.
15th Street.
115th Street between Lenox and 5th. And I'm letting everybody know everything is free. They're giving everything. We're giving it away. Bring your family, bring the kids. It's a day of fun. It's a day of resources. We're going to have different vendors there for healthcare, education, healthcare, education, particular products, services, for the vendors that work directly with Miss Stephanie and Morm organization, and so much more. So come on out. Our events, you do have to sign up for several things. So come on out. When you get out there, you're just going to fill out your information and put yourself in alignment so that people can reach you for resources. This is how we network. This is your first network. Now, we will also bring in information about jobs and getting work. So if you're looking for work, come out to the P2G table, because we're helping folks connect to resources to find work. I tell y'all, I teach you financial literacy. You got to start with something. I don't care if you got a side hustle or a business. Now, for those who are telling me right now, I've been looking for work for too long, Mr. Thomas, talk to me. What we got?
Oh, look, we have the ability to actually make money. We have a program that we created that we're sharing with people how to create digital products and get paid through digital product creation and moving.
Did you make that program, Mr. Thomas?
Huh?
Did you make that program?
Oh, no, I didn't make it, but
Oh, okay, because I heard you say something. I can't take credit.
You need to stop.
All right. Look, I'm just being.
You were so bad. Earlier, I miss say something in the morning, boy, she get at me. But look, no, come out, check out. We're working with a program called Solarium Life.
Yes.
It's making money for people. We're sharing the information. If you're open to, making income for yourself and your family, and being the change in your life, come check out our table. We'll sit down, we'll talk to you, we'll have a conversation for a couple minutes, and we'll get you set up. All right? So
what we're doing, and I like to put it on a simple process, like a simple process. If you're looking for something that you can market that you don't have to pay for, and that's one of the things I tell you, you have to pay something to get started. I tell people, start your business so you can get to work, and that way you can get your money rolling. Simple as that. I'm not kidding you. It was like $11 for me to start, so I was down. I ain't kidding nobody.
2 cups of coffee. I'm telling you guys.
$11, and I got a new side hustle. That's working. Yep. That's helping, and my side hustle helps others make more money in a business. So if I'm helping business in my community grow, then I'm keeping financial wealth in my community. It's time for us to start stepping up. I don't want to hear nobody talk about they need money if you're not willing to work. Just letting you know. If you're not willing to work, them don't work, don't eat is for real.
That is a true statement.
So don't come to me talking about, but Miss Ruby, I don't have. If you don't have, figure out how to get it so you can start putting in making as much money. You can do this around the world. You can do this. So for those
I'm so tired of hearing people say they don't got, but you know, they have time to go get their nails done. They have time to get their hair done.
Okay, we're not criticizing. What I'm
We're
telling
not
you right
criticizing.
now,
We're calling a spade right now.
can I finish what I'm saying, Mrs. Zuma?
God. Look, you know I'm fired up about this because it's making changes in people's lives.
You know, yeah, because we moving. You know, when I see something that's moving, I tell you get on it now. Don't wait till something happens till down the road and you're literally at a lower level of everything is like, this is the new portion of it. And yes, that's me. Y'all see me at my computer. That's what I'm doing. All right. So the flyer gives you a little bit of information of what's going on. Come into the website. We're going to throw that up in there, but y'all are going to get invited to come to informationals. Get the information. Come talk to me after this. Yep. I'm going to tell you the reason I said this is because I'm talking to y'all about structure. I am actually going to be connecting with a couple of job fairs to do pre-job fair setups. People don't know how to actually function at a job fair or to address a job fair. Our young people and our adults who are looking for work do not know how to be at a job fair. So you're going to come in and you're going to get new skills. The first portion of this is going to start here. The first thing you do is you look up, taking this from my class, y'all, you're going to learn to look up the company you want to work with. We call that vetting it. You're researching the company that you want to work with to see what their opportunity for you is. Then you will have a conversation with the person that's opening the opportunity up from a place of mutual information. You will be able to formulate good questions about what you want to know. And in this case, you'll even be able to ask questions about the compensation plan because we'll make sure you understand how we make our money and why we could pay you. So come to the table and let folks know. Because if my line ain't long, y'all ain't paying attention. And apparently you doing well enough for inflation. I'll see you soon.
Minus 14%, but that's nothing.
Out here. Guys, let me tell you something. If we don't do it, we ain't. We really are all we got. If you don't take this message and pass it on to somebody else, you're not only selfish, but you're broke and you're going to stay broke. We have an obligation to our community. You want to see your community grow? You want to see money flow through where you're at? You're going to have to start pushing it along. You have to start passing on the information. And I let folks know there's plenty of room for everybody. Stop being selfish. Don't let people fool you into believing that there's a lack of anything. And believe me, there's not a lack of dollars. There's a lot of dollars. As a matter of fact, they print more every day. So since that's the case, how much do you want?
You get extra.
What are you willing to do to get what you want? Because I'm showing you the opportunity to create over and over as much as you choose. And then we're going to bring you into our education system to show you how to help get that to create
to the next level.
That's right. So I love you all. This is going to have to be a short one because today we got some stuff. It's Friday. We getting ready. We getting prepped up and ready for tomorrow's event. I'm like really excited. I got to reach out to the organization and find out what they need us to do because I usually like to come in early and support.
Definitely come out and be with us on 115th Street and 5th Avenue.
15th between. That's right. Let's bring it up again. Let's go.
115.
There's a lot of different organizations. There's several. There's going to be several politicians moving through. This is actually
an election
week. Election month. It's in the 20-something. So I'm letting everybody know. Come meet the people that you're expected to vote for. Because if you're not, and I just want to let you know, if you're gonna play the game, use the power that you have. Yep. Don't sit around like, oh, it don't matter. Then it won't matter when somebody else's choices get taken care of. Remember that. Don't get mad you living into someone else's life because you didn't take and put your choice up. You get where I'm coming from yet? I don't want to hear nothing about that's not what I wanted if you didn't vote. Y'all got Donald Trump because you didn't vote. Because you didn't believe. And y'all got him twice with the same.
No, you believe somebody else would do it for you. That's what you believe.
Y'all got him the same. Y'all got him twice. So I can't believe when people say that they don't like the lifestyle they're living when you won't step up and say, no, this is my say. I'm saying what's going to happen. Simple as that. Enjoy what they got for a gift to you. Until you take action, you can't see actions change. So let's go. Let's get to it.
Oh man, what a great show today, babe.
Oh my God. Come on, baby.
What a great show today. I am so excited about what let me tell you, we talked about the block, Love on the Block. That's this weekend. We talked about, and we got to let them know Wednesday, come back, get your information, business owners, come find out what's available to you inside the crypto space, the digital financial space.
Come
get
see
your
how to play
questions
the
answered
game.
around business.
Come see how to play the game, baby. You just got the. I just gave you the source. Come play the game.
And
that's what we're doing on Wednesdays. I ain't joking. Come find out how to get this moving. You want to make some money and you want to make it now. Let's go.
And then show up on Sunday. Don't forget Sunday.
Can I please say something? This ain't a something for nothing. Let me be real honest. This is not a something for nothing. You have to be ready to invest your time and your money in yourself and put structure in yourself. People keep thinking it take a lot of money. My first thing is I tell you this every show when we talk about savings. Stop psyching yourself out about savings. We taught people to save at what, Mr. Thomas?
10 cents.
Start with 10 cents to make it make sense, right? 10 cents to make it make sense.
Look, I tell people get mad when I say 2 water bottle returns. 10 cents will get you started. 2 water bottle returns, get you started.
All right. So this is and this is one of our partners we're in the space with. This brother right here is the creator of the Hero Network. And I'm really excited to be a part of that. I've always been a part of it since it came up, just like he's always been a part of P2G. But this is amazing that we're running in the same game again, and we're back to making a lot of people money, which is how we started this. We constantly, when we find opportunities that that literally will move, and we can do collectively, we come together and we move money fast and wild real early. So we like being early in the game because we understand what early adoption does. Y'all come in and come learn the digital wealth blueprint. We've been putting it down for about a minute. Y'all know that. So what we do here is we get you started on something that's moving, and then we help you move through to the next levels consistently. So I want you guys to really understand what y'all are exposed to. This is my brother Larry.
This is what I'm really telling you guys. You guys got to understand where we're coming from. We are truly about our core principle: acquire, build, and then we're going to show you how to protect it.
That's right.
Without a doubt.
All right.
Build and protect. We got this coming. Go see us on the floor this Saturday.
Yes, and Sunday nights are still happening. That is our major protect day where we talk to folks about the one system: own nothing, control everything. Know how this has to work for you. You guys don't even, if you don't know that you don't know, we're going to make sure that you find out. So we love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'm hoping that we get to play in the sun together because I'm really excited. It's going to be kind of hot out. It's going to be a little 90 something.
Oh, I might have to go use my little, my sunbeam hat. Hold on.
Oh, I got a new one. So I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it on. I got a new hat to y'all.
Oh, Lord.
We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. So for that, I want to say, y'all don't miss it. Make sure you come back. And those who are just hopping on, rerun this, baby. Find the replay so that you can get the information, what we just talked about. Because we've got events coming up you can actually join. Yes, and we don't care what borough or state you're from. Come out to the streets. Harlem is always welcome everybody. So let's come and get it done. Yep. You do not have to be a victim of domestic violence to support anti-domestic violence and people moving into a positive state in our communities. We love you. We want you to be with us, and we want you to have that mental wellness and that peace of mind that comes from knowing that you have been empowered, that you were always empowered. So let's get it popping. We'll see you soon. Bye, my babies. Mwah.
Peace. We're out of here.
Ooh, ba-da-da-da-da. See ya. Wake up and rise, open your eyes. It's breakfast with the Thomases, the ultimate prize. Mental Wellness Monday.